Welcome back to Nerd Initiative and the TARDIS. My name's Off the Cuff Tom. Now let's talk about some Who in review. And welcome back. Let's talk about Season 2, Episode 5, The Story and the Engine. This episode takes place in Lagos, in Africa, which is great because we're finally getting to tell the person of color stories that I knew was going to happen with the fact of having Ncuti Gatwa in as the role of the Doctor. And it goes hand in hand. Again, sci-fi is always a great allegory for what's happening in real life. And the fact that we're using this to the advantage to tell stories is great. They might have, had a misstep before with Jodie not knowing how to write for a woman character, but this is where they really did hit their point. They introduced a character that apparently the Doctor knew and saved years ago from a fire. And the big long story about it is that there is some dimensional deity out for vengeance who studies stories, who takes stories in. He tried using the guise of being, Loki or a Anansi, and they were able to lock these, men in the barbershop until they kept telling stories, and the stories fed the engine being this weird hut thing on top of a robot wooden looking spider as it's going across this web of stories. The barber's accomplice happens to be Abby, who happens to be the actual daughter of Anansi, of which there's a whole backstory there that apparently Anansi had a bet going with the Doctor to take his daughter. We'll find out that it wasn't obviously Ncuti Gatwa, but it was the fugitive Doctor. So to see the fugitive Doctor come back for all of a scene was great. I gotta say, when it came to this episode, there were a lot of things that I liked, like the storytelling, like the particular art that they were using, and the acting was great. But the story itself as a whole, I found extremely lacking. You can definitely tell a lot of it was put on the cutting room floor. Um, and it was tied up way too easily with a bow at the end. As far as Belinda was concerned, she was pretty much on the TARDIS most of the time for the episode until she was brought in when it seemed convenient near the end. I honestly would have liked to have seen something in regards to, instead of like doing the whole storytelling, maybe do a version of the memory TARDIS. I would have loved to have seen that. Um, all in all, this for me wasn't the strongest episode as far as story is telling. But as far as the acting and the visual effects and everything, minus the whole spider thing, I'm going to have to give this a 7 out of 10. Make sure to come back, Nerdish, for all your great Doctor Who reviews, and I'll catch you in the TARDIS.